بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مشاهدي الكرام، طلبة وطالبات دبلوم التعليم العام، أسعد الله أوقاتكم بكل خير. أهلا بكم معنا في حلقة جديدة من حلقات برنامجكم درس على الهواء. بالتأكيد حلقة اليوم ومن خلالها نطوف مع مادة اللغة الإنجليزية، هذه المادة التي ستؤدون الامتحان عليها يوم الغد بإذن الله. اليوم مجموعة من الطلبة والطالبات أدوا الامتحان في مادة العالم من حول التاريخ، وكان الامتحان جميل ورائع وفي متناول أيادي الطلبة والطالبات. هذا الانطباع اللي خرجوا به الطلاب اللي أدوا امتحان اليوم. إن شاء الله الامتحانات القادمة تكون على نفس الوتيرة بإذن الله. بعد قليل نبدأ الحلقة، كونوا معنا. أهلا بكم مجددا مشاهدي الكرام، طلبة وطالبات الثاني عشر. نبدأ معكم حلقة اليوم وبرنامج درس على الهواء، حلقة اللغة الإنجليزية. اسمحوا لي باسمكم أن أرحب بالأستاذ سعيد بن محمد العمري، معلم لغة إنجليزية. أستاذ سعيد أهلا بك معنا.
مرحبا.
يا مرحبا. وأيضا الأستاذة فاطمة بنت عبد الله البريكية، معلمة لغة إنجليزية. أستاذة فاطمة أهلا بك معنا.
أهلا وسهلا.
وبالتأكيد أيها الطلبة والطالبات، من خلال حلقة سابقة لهذه المادة اللي كانت في ليلة امتحان المهارات تحدثنا كثيرا حول مادة اللغة الإنجليزية. استعرضنا الورقة الامتحانية سواء لمادة المهارات اللي امتحنتوها أو أيضا بالنسبة لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية الأساسية اللي راح تمتحنوها يوم الغد، اللي هو الجزئية A والجزئية B. يعني في طلبة راح يمتحنوا امتحان اللغة الإنجليزية A، وفي طلبة راح يمتحنوا امتحان اللغة الإنجليزية B إن شاء الله يوم الغد. واستعرضنا الورقة الامتحانية للامتحانين. أيضا ركزنا على كثير من الأسئلة. إن شاء الله اليوم راح نكون حاضرين أنا والأساتذة بالتأكيد معي للرد على جميع الاستفسارات الخاصة بمادة اللغة الإنجليزية. ما على المتصل أول ما يتصل إلا أنه يعرف بنفسه ويعرف هو أيضا هو من أي جزئية راح يمتحن، سواء إنجليش A أو إنجليش B، لأنه الأستاذ سعيد راح يرد على الجزئية والأستاذة فاطمة راح ترد على الجزئية الأخرى. أيضا نتمنى أن ما نكرر الأسئلة المتاحة في الحلقة السابقة، بإمكانكم ترجعوا لها في اليوتيوب، وأيضا ممكن فقط نمر عليها مرور الكرام بإذن الله. أرقامنا كانت ظاهرة وراح تظهر أيضا بعد كل شوي إن شاء الله. أيضا صفحتنا على الفيسبوك والبريد الإلكتروني. خلينا ناخذ أول مكالمة معنا. نشوف أول مكالمة في حلقة اليوم. السلام عليكم. ناخذ اتصال. السلام عليكم. شوف مكالمة. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
يا مرحبا وسهلا، حياك. من معنا؟
حياك الله. معك أحمد هدى. أحمد رشيد.
أحمد وطع صوت التلفزيون لو تكرمت. أحمد
إن شاء الله، لحظة بس.
أيوة أحمد، شو أخبارك؟
الحمد لله طيب.
كيفك مع الامتحانات؟ تمام؟
الحمد لله تمام.
وكيف بكرة جاهزين للإنجليزي إن شاء الله؟
إن شاء الله نكون جاهزين.
أحمد A or B؟
A.
A. تفضل أستاذة.
Okay, hello Ahmed.
Hi.
Have you studied for the exam?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of the exam.
So what's your question?
My question is in writing. We have to maybe write a letter or an email.
Okay.
How we write the informative and the formative letter.
You mean the formal and the informal letter?
Yeah.
Okay. I will write here. I hope that you follow me. Okay?
Okay.
تمام. أحمد عندك سؤال آخر؟
لا شكرا.
شكرا، تابعنا يا أحمد، شكرا لك.
Okay, Ahmed. Now he's asking about the letter or the email. Whether you have a letter or email, whether they can be formal or informal. Now let's look to the formal one. Formal means that you send this letter, for example, to a company, to the ministry, to the boss, for example, and in your work, and so on. So the language you use in formal letter, the language has to be also formal. So you have to use formal language. And I can give you here example of what do I mean. We know that sometimes they give you the address, but sometimes you immediately start the letter with the word dear. And they give you there in the instruction of the questions the name to whom or to whom this letter should be sent. Now, first of all, let's look at the formal letter. You start the letter with dear, then you write here, for example, to where you are sending this letter, to which place, to which person. Then after that, since this letter here is formal, it means that the beginning of the letter also has to be formal. What do you mean by formal? You immediately start your letter, for example, saying about what you are writing about. Let's imagine that they ask you to send a letter, for example, to a company where you buy something and you find out after you receive that product that it is not the same that you want. So you have here to write the full name directly of that company, for example, and sending and saying, for example, I am writing this letter to. Now here after to you write the purpose of the letter. So this can be the introduction. Then after that you move here to the body. In the body, what should you write? You write about the subject in details. And here you can specify things, you can give examples and so on. Then you can move here to the conclusion. In the conclusion, what should you write? Here you end your letter, for example, I hope that my, for example, point will be good, and I'm waiting for your reply. I'm waiting to hear soon from you regarding the subject I sent. So this is regarding the formal letter. Now let's move to the informal letter. The informal letter is the letter that you send, for example, to your friend, whether this friend is a real friend or Ben friend, as they ask you. Another thing, you can send this one to your brother, one of the family member, like brother, mother, father, sister, and so on. Also, so when you write informal letter and you send a letter to your friend, to your one of the, for example, family members, or sometimes you send the letter to your classmate, the one who studies with you in the same class. So the language that you use here has to be informal. What do you mean by informal? So you use the friendly language or the lovely language talking with that person. Let's see the letter. The letter will start with dear. They give you names in the exam, like for example Nasr or Nasra. So if you are a boy, you are going to write, for example, dear Nasr. Okay? Then this is informal letter, so the language will be also informal. So you can start your letter with hello, or you can write hi. I hope you are doing very well. I'm happy to write this letter for you. Okay? Then you ask, for example, the person, how are you doing? Are you doing very well? And so on. So this will be like the introduction. Then after that, in the body, here, you talk directly about the topic. I'm writing this letter to tell you about, for example, my school. Then you tend to describe your school. Then after that, you move to the conclusion, the final point. What should you write here in the conclusion? I hope that you will write to me soon. You can also send my regards to your family. So you are also ending the letter in a friendly way. So this is generally regarding the formal letter and informal letter. The most important thing with formal letter is that you have to focus on formal language when you talk or when you write. Then don't forget that when you end the letter, you can write here yours and you write here your name. With the formal letter, if we just go up in the conclusion after you end this sentence, you can write, for example, best wishes or sincerely. Then here you write your name, the name you are given in the question or in the instruction of the question. That's it about formal letter and informal letter.
إذا أحمد أتمنى تكون متابعنا. ناخذ سؤال عبر الفيسبوك من فارس الشامسي. فارس يسأل what are the thread that revolves around writing? What is the writing when and writing to? Please reply as soon as possible. He didn't decide if it is A or B.
So you can, Teacher Saeed, talk about English B.
If he's asking about English B, in writing for English B, there are going to be three kinds of writing. Writing 1, 2, and 3. Writing 1 will be a box of information. Students should use the information to write a paragraph, and they need to order the information first. They can write the paragraph later on. Of course, they can join, students can join 2 or 3 information together and write sentence here. Be careful, students, don't write it as points, because if you are writing these kind of things as points, you will lose marks here. The second writing will be descriptive. You need to describe a place, a person, or whatever, depends on the question in exam. In the practical exam for the last year, imagine that your mother's birthday coming soon, so describe the present and say why you have chosen it. So you need to introduce what's the gift, then describe it in the body, and in conclusion or in one part of the body, you can describe why, or you can answer why did you choose this gift to be given to your mother, for example. So say the reasons as well. As much as possible, you can describe and use the present symbol here, of course. And in the second writing, you need to write 75 words at least. The last one is writing number 3. Also, you need to write a letter, as Ms. Fatma has already explained, formal and informal. You need to email or you need to write a letter for your benefriend. Be careful here of the name. If you are a boy, write Nasser. Lady, write Nasra. Depends on the question in exam, of course. Begin your letter, as Ms. Fatma said, with dear, introducing your email by I hope you are doing good, then the body, what's the topic is about, then conclude with send my regards to your family, friends or whatever, then best wishes and write your names. This is the all already explained by Ms. Fatma here. That's it, Mr. Khalfan, for the 3 writings for English B.
Okay, for English A, they are going to have 2 writing questions. One writing question, the first one will be informative. It means that they have to give information about a certain topic. Now they are asked to, they will be just given the statement or the sentence, and they have to give information about that thing. For example, they can be asked to write about, for example, one of the ceremonies that Omani people celebrate in Oman, and they have to tell or give information about it, like for example Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, National Day, about anything. So the students, they have to expect any topic and they should be ready and write about it. The second one, which is writing number 2, they are going to be given to write, they will be given a situation, and from that situation they have to write a letter or email based on the instruction mentioned in the instruction. So they have to be careful with the information mentioned in the instruction of the question. They have also to be careful with the topic of the letter or the email. They have to avoid writing about something else than what is mentioned in the instruction of the question. That's it about writing for writing A.
هنا أيضا رسالة عبر الإيميل من الطالبة فاطمة الشيبانية من المنطقة من المحافظة الداخلية. السلام عليكم أستاذة، لو سمحتي كيف بيكون شكل الرايتنج في انجلش A؟ أعتقد وضحناه الآن، وضحناه الآن فاطمة لو متابعتنا. أيضا أريد شرح القاعدة في ثيم 3، ونتمنى أن الاختبار ما يكون صعب إن شاء الله. هذه أمنيتنا جميعا بإذن الله أنه ما يكون صعب إن شاء الله.
Let's move now to theme number 3. I hope that she is following. She's saying here theme number 3, right?
Yeah. أنا أتمنى من الطلبة اللي يرسلوا لنا عن طريق البريد الإلكتروني وعن طريق صفحة الفيسبوك يكتبوا أسماءهم، لأنه صعب جدا أن نقرأ سؤال من غير اسم أو نقرأ اسم مستعار. كثير أنا يعني أركز على هالنقطة، وبعدين تقولوا ليش ما تقرأوا أسئلتنا وليش أسئلتنا نحطها وما حد يقراها. يعني هذا أبسط شيء إحنا نطلبه، على الأقل الاسم الأولاني على أساس نقدر نناديكم فيه.
Okay. Now I hope that all the students of English A are following here. Theme number 3, if we just look in the book, it's going to be page 37. This is this one here, page 37. This is regarding the course book. If we went also to if we go to the course workbook, it's going to be here in this page. If we just look at the number of the page, it's going to be 107. So the students, when they study this grammar rule, they have to study it from 2 books, from course book and also workbook. Let's move now to the explanation of this rule. Actually here, what do they have? They are introducing for you here, students, the name of stative verbs and also of dynamic verbs. From the word stative means state verb. It means that these types of verbs, they don't have action. There are no actions in them. The other one is the dynamic verb, means action verbs. It means you can see here an action. So this is first of all the meaning of the verb. If we also go to where can I find dynamic verb? I can find dynamic verb in continuous action. It means that for example, present continuous, the past continuous, the progressive. Here we can find dynamic verb or continuous verb or action verb. They all have the same meaning or the same name. If we just go to it, they said that dynamic action or dynamic verb or action verb, they can be seen for a limited period of time. But if we go to stative verb, we can see them for a long time. Now let's have some examples from the workbook. In the workbook, we have some examples of stative verbs or state verb. State verb, it means that they have a relationship with the mind and the belief of the people. What do they believe about certain thing? So if we go to the type of the verb, such as we can have the verb believe, think, hate, know, imagine. These verbs, we call them stative verb or state verb. They have a relationship with the mind and also with the feelings of the people. If we go to dynamic verb, for example, we can say she is, if we come here, she is playing football. This is here, is playing football. This we consider it as dynamic verb because there is an action, something I can see. Or for example, I can say, she is cooking. So again here, the verb cooking is action verb or dynamic verb. We can also look to the other example. We can say, they are studying. Again here, are studying we consider to be like dynamic verb or action verb. Let's move to the second type of verb, which is the stative verb or the state verb, where I can see state. For example, I can say, I think that green color is a nice color. So here I think. So here I'm describing something that has a relationship to what I have in my mind. Or for example, I can say, I believe that Oman is a peaceful country. So here again, I'm describing my feeling regarding something. So stative verb has a relationship with the state, the feeling, what I have inside my mind, and also the dynamic verb we can see action, like continuous verb or progressive verb, like playing, cooking, and so on. Okay? I hope that she has got the answer.
إن شاء الله. أيضا مؤيد المعمري عبر الإيميل كان يسأل عن الرايتنج. احنا وضحنا هالشيء في سؤال سابق، هو أيضا من خلال الحلقة الماضية. ناخذ اتصال. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام.
يا مرحبا وسهلا، من معنا؟
فاطمة رندي.
فاطمة، كيف أمورك؟ تمام؟
الحمد لله تمام.
ماشي يا فاطمة. A or B؟
A.
A. تفضلي أستاذة فاطمة معك.
Okay, Fatma, hello.
How are you?
How are you doing with the exams so far?
I'm fine.
Are they easy?
Everything is okay.
Okay, this is so nice. Now, what's your question?
I have two questions.
Okay.
First question in exam 2010, 2011.
Okay.
In grammar 2.
In grammar 2.
All the items.
All the items. First of all, let me check if I have this exam with me. You said which one?
Grammar 2.
2010.
2010. 2012.
10 and 12. How come 10?
11.
Okay, 10 and 11. Let me see. Don't go because I will. Grammar 1 or grammar 2?
Grammar 2.
2 or 1?
2.
2. The one that. Can you read the first statement? Read the first question. Because I want to check. Is it the same that I have it here?
I don't have the paper now, but I won't write the answers because the exam in my computer. Yeah.
So I will explain this for you, and I hope that you mean the same thing. I wish that you even have, if you have the first one, because we have for 2010 we have first session and second session. So I don't know which session you are talking about.
Okay. Say it, maybe I will remember.
Okay. Do you have the question that says complete each sentence, write one word only, then number 6. I meant dash buy
Yes.
some cheese, but the shop was closed. This one?
Yes. Yes, yes.
Okay. So here the first one, 2. The answer is 2. To buy.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Then number 7, they have dash searching for survivors all night. They have been.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
He is my best friend. I have known him since we were 6. So here the answer is since.
Mm.
Then good luck in your new job.
Yeah.
You dash keep in touch. Won't you? The answer is will. You will keep in touch. Won't you? And this we have it like tag questions or question tag. The last one, it was late when we arrived, but luckily she dash already prepared dinner.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. The second question is I want the difference between while, whose, whom. When can we use it?
You use what? Whom?
While,
While?
whose,
Okay?
whom.
Okay. I can explain it for you on the screen if you can follow.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much فاطمة.
Welcome.
شكرا فاطمة. نرجع لأسئلة الفيسبوك ونشوف سؤال من سعيد الشحي. سعيد طبعا ما ممكن يكون شرح للأستاذة فاطمة ولا الأستاذ سعيد بالعربي، يعني ما ممكن. وهذا الكلام أيضا لكل الطلبة اللي ربما هالتساؤل في بالهم، لأن احنا جالسين نتحدث عن مادة لغة يعني احنا جالسين نتكلم في لغة يعني، فبالتالي يجب أن تكون نفس اللغة اللي احنا ندرسها اليوم. عندي سؤال فرايتنج كيف يكون شكله؟ اعتقد احنا جاوبنا على هالسؤال اللي هو المعلومات اللي في الايميل بوكس. هو سؤال ما واضح، بس ما دريت منه انه يكون يوضح بالنسبه لكم شو هو يريد.
I think that student is talking about the box of information that's in writing number 1. I can show
Is
it
it
here.
about the email, writing email?
No, I don't think that the email itself, but I think this is the box that maybe the student is talking about. The box is filled with information. So the student should order the information, then after ordering they can write a paragraph here. But the email, I don't think the email is carrying up with the box. This is the kind of email or the kind of the question in exam. You will be asked a question to write a letter to someone, and you need to write it. Of course, here you write the introduction, body and conclusion. Start with dear, end with yours or best wishes and your name.
ناخذ اتصال. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. شوف مكالمة. السلام عليكم. يا مرحبا وسهلا، من معنا؟
مروة الزجاري.
مروة شو اخبارك؟
الحمد لله بخير.
كيفك مع الامتحانات؟
الحمد لله زين.
تمام. مروة A or B؟
A.
A. تفضلي مع الأستاذة فاطمة.
Okay, Marwa, hello, how are you?
Hello, fine, thank you. How are you, teacher?
I'm fine. Are you ready for tomorrow?
Inshallah.
Inshallah. So what's your question?
We won't be asked to write a CV or a summary of a text, right?
Can you say it again?
In the exam,
Yes.
we will not be asked to write a CV or a summary, right?
No, I don't think so. You will be asked to write, you will have 2 writing questions. If you can look at the screen, I can also show it to you. This is the one that we received from the ministry for this year. I don't know if they are. Is the screen, can you see the screen? Marwa, can you see it?
Not yet.
واضحة على الشاشة معك مروة؟
أيوة الحين واضحة.
تمام.
Okay, writing number 1. Write at least 100 words on the following topic. So here you will have a topic, then you have to write about it. Your writing should be clear and well organized also. So this is writing number 1. It has 10 marks. If we go to the second one, the second writing, complete the following task, write at least 100 words. You will be given a situation, and after the situation, the end, write a letter or email about the topic that you are given here in the situation. Then again, your writing should be clear and well organized. Also, this one has 10 marks. So you will only have 2 writing questions. One of them will be informative, information. They will give you a topic and you have to write information about that topic. Number 2, they will give you a situation, and also you have to write like by the end of the situation, letter or email based on that situation. That's it, Marwa.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, welcome.
شكرا لك مروة. أيضا سؤال عبر الإيميل، عبر البريد الإلكتروني من الطالب علي السعد. يقول: مساء الخير، هل في اختبار الغد انجلش اي سيطلب منا كتابة ايميل او رسالة؟ وممكن الأستاذة تعطينا نموذج كتابة الايميل او رسالة؟ وشكرا على البرنامج. أستاذة فاطمة.
Yes, we have already answered this thing. We said whether they will have an email or whether they will have a letter, they will find it in writing number 2. And I have already explained the difference between formal letter and also formal email. So he can go there and watch it again if he has not watched it yet.
إذا علي أتمنى تكون متابع، وأيضا نتابع إعادة الحلقة هذه بعد نشرة أخبار 10 إن شاء الله. وأيضا الحلقة الماضية متاحة على اليوتيوب، يعني متاحة من فترة، وأنا كنت أتمنى أنه في أي فراغ كان عندكم أنكم ترجعوا للحلقة اللي على اليوتيوب، على أساس على الأقل تكونوا فكرة عامة عن الأشياء المتعلقة بامتحان اللغة الإنجليزية. وأيضا أنه في حلقة اليوم أيضا ما نكرر الأسئلة بالشكل هذا اللي جالس يصير. نشوف أيضا سؤال عبر الفيسبوك. خلينا ناخذ اتصال. إذا نرجع لصفحة الفيسبوك ونشوف أيضا سؤال من الفيسبوك. وإن كنت أنا جالس أنتقل أسئلة الغير مكررة، يعني جالس أبحث عن سؤال غير مكرر، يعني خلينا ناخذ سؤال في مكالمة. ناخذ الاتصال. إذا ناخذ الاتصال. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
وعليكم السلام.
يا مرحبا وسهلا، من معنا؟ هاجر.
ايوه.
كيف حالك هاجر؟
الحمد لله تمام.
كذا خليكي نشيطة شوي هاجر. تمام.
اوكي.
هاجر A or B؟
B.
B. أستاذ سعيد تفضل.
Hello, Hajar.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
Good. How exams so far?
I'm fine.
Are you doing good?
Yes.
Difficult or easy?
Easy. So
Great,
easy.
great. So what's your question, Hajar?
I have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
First one, exactly we have 4 types of writing. What are these?
4 types of writing. Go ahead.
Yes, and another question, what's the difference between present perfect passive and present passive continuous?
Present perfect?
Present perfect passive and present passive continuous.
Present continuous passive?
Yes.
Okay. Another questions?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Hajar. Thank you.
Welcome.
For the 4 types of writing, we have informative writing, we have descriptive writing, we have narrative writing, and we have evaluative writing. I'm not sure why you are asking these questions, but we are using these kinds of writing sometimes to evaluate students. Informative, narrative, descriptive, and evaluative as well. So in each semester we are giving, or we are marking students in two kinds of writing. For example, this semester we are guiding students on 2 parts, and first semester in the other 2 parts. In the informative, you are giving information, of course, about something. Descriptive, you are describing a place, a person, or somehow. And for narrative, you are telling a story. And the last one is evaluative, which is agree or disagree with some kinds of points. For the present perfect passive, I'm not sure that you are looking for these kind of things. In exam, you will be asked about present perfect, which is something happened in the past and has a result now. Again, present perfect, something happened in the past and has a result now. An example, you saw someone, his shoes so clean. You are asking, oh, you have such a nice shoes, for example. He will answer, I've already cleaned my shoes, or I have cleaned my shoes. So what is the situation here? It was dirty, but now it's clean. So here the same meaning of present perfect. Something happened in the past and has a result now. For the present continuous, you are talking about something happened in the middle of the time itself. So in between. If you are talking about, for example, from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., what's happening here, for example, between 8 and 10? For example, at 9 p.m. you are watching TV. You can say, for example, I am watching TV at this time, at the exact time. Or what are you doing now? For if somebody call you, I am watching TV, or I am reading a story. So this is the kind that you needed in exam. This is Mr.
شكرا. سؤال أيضا عبر الفيسبوك من شمائل الهاشمية من محافظة جنوب الشرقية. هل نتقيد بقواعد الكتاب فقط أم القواعد بشكل عام؟ شكرا لك يا شمائل. أستاذة فاطمة.
Okay. Regarding the grammar rules, the students, they have to take care of 2 things with grammar rules. The first thing, they have to take care of the grammar rules that they have in the book, whether it is English A or English B. So you have to look at the every grammar information you have in the book there. Another thing is that expect to have a question asking you about basic grammar rules like present simple, past simple, future simple. We know that these grammar rules, the 3 of them, you took them before in earlier grades. And I'm sure that some of your teachers, they even have introduced them for you again in the class. So you have to take care of 2 things. Grammar information that you have rules in the book, and also the basic rules of English. Like for example, conjunction, how to use in, on, at, and so on. Like for example, relative clauses and the other basic rules of English.
إذن شمائل إن شاء الله تكون متابعة وتعرفتي على الإجابة. ناخذ أيضا سؤال من الفيسبوك ومن الطالب ياسر الرديني. Please explain grammar on page 53 in English A. English A. Page 53.
I think this one that he means here, page 53, we have here about embedded questions. What do you mean by embedded questions? First of all, you have to know the meaning of the grammar item that you have here. We have 2 types of English, of questions in English language. The first type of question is that the direct question you ask someone. You ask it directly. Like for example, when you ask somebody, what is your name? So this is a direct question. You ask someone a question directly. What do you mean by direct question? It starts immediately with whether the WH word, which we have it here, what for the question. Sometimes it starts with the verb to be. Like for example, you can ask like, is it cold? So here again, this is a direct question, but this direct question here, it starts immediately with the verb to be, which is. So these two questions, we call them direct question. They immediately start with the question word. Now, let's move to the second type of question, which is embedded question, that you have it here in the book. If we just look here at embedded question, it means that we have here the question, but the question is preceded by a certain statement. Like, for example, let's look here. We can ask a direct question like, for example, is this correct? Let's look here. Is this correct? So this one here, we call it direct question. Okay? Now, if I want to ask embedded question about this direct question, the same question, embedded question means the question is preceded by a certain statement or by a phrase. What kind of phrases that we can use? Like, for example, can you tell me? Do you know? Could you tell me? And so on. So we can use this at the beginning. We will start it with a phrase. Like, for example, do you know? So here, this is a phrase. I use it before I write my question. Do you know what? If this is correct. So with direct question, it's going to be, is this correct? So this is direct question. You immediately ask the question. The embedded question is preceded by a phrase. This is a phrase. Can you see this phrase here? Do you know? Another phrase you can find, which is, can you tell me? Or could you tell me? Then you write the question here. The thing that you have to be careful with, finally the question mark, the thing that you have to be careful with when writing embedded question is the order of the words. What do you mean by the order of the words? In direct question, I have, if we just look at this direct question, like for example, I think it's here up. Yes. With direct question like this one, let's look here at the order of the word. First of all, we have the WH word or the question word. Then after that, we have verb. Then after that, we have the thing you are asking about, or the item that you are asking about, or the subject. Then finally, we have here the question mark. So here the verb precedes the subject in the direct question. In embedded question, like for example, the one we have here, let's look. Do you know? So this is a phrase. Then after that, we have if. After if, let's look here and see what do we have. Subject, verb, then the complement of the question. So the rule here changes. So regarding the person who asked the question, you have to go to the book and see. Subjects usually come before verbs in embedded question. So in embedded question, the subject becomes or comes at first rank. Then after that, you have the verb. If you have auxiliary verb like do or does or did, in direct question you can say, for example, where do you go? This is direct question. In embedded question, you delete or you omit the do, did, and does. Another thing, if you have, for example, will, may, can, or could, we call them modal auxiliary verbs. In embedded question, they come after their subjects. And another thing, if you have no or yes question, like for example, is it cold? The answer will be yes or no. If I want to write embedded question, I have to use here if, like I have it here. Do you know if this is correct? So you have to look at the order of the word. So there is here a big difference between direct questions and embedded questions, and to know the difference you have to look at each type of question and see what are the changes that happen to the question when we make it embedded, because in the exam you have to look at the word order. It's very important that you order the words very correctly regarding the verb to be or the subject, or sometimes if you want to insert if you want to omit one of the auxiliary verb like did or do or does, and so on. So that's it about embedded question. The student also can go to the workbook. There is also another explanation, detailed explanation about it in page 108. You can go to the table and see what are the changes that happen to each type of question.
سؤال أيضا عبر الفيسبوك من ريماس الزجالي. لو سمحت أستاذ أريد معنى كلمة أوتوكيو الموجودة في صفحة 19 in the course book الفقرة الخامسة السطر ما قبل الأخير. I think the auto cue, it is the unit which is fixed in the camera. We have four auto cues here.
Yeah, the auto cue, I think it's in post basic, which is English A, but we can say the auto cue is the screen that show the information that, for example, Mr. Khalfan is reading, or the news, the one who's reading the news sometimes is reading something from the camera itself. So this is the auto cue, which is in front of the reporter. So this is the auto cue.
Yeah. And now we can see the auto cues.
Yeah, so many auto cues here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so many auto cues as well.
Okay, we hope the student saw them also.
Mr. Khalfan, one more thing. I think for Hajar, she was asking. Really sorry, I'm not sure if she is asking about passive forms of present perfect or present continuous. I think she was asking about passive form. So if Miss Fatma can help me with that one. So the present perfect is subject. Yeah, we can move to the screen itself. We can move to the screen. The present perfect is subject plus has or have plus the verb past participle plus the object. So this is the present perfect, as we explained that this is something happened in the past and has a result now. An example here, I have, yeah, this is present perfect. The example is I have closed the gate. So this is present perfect active. So if we want to change it, each tense in English can be changed to passive form. So the passive form of this one could be object plus has plus being plus the verb past participle, and optional here by me or by someone or whatever here, optional. So the example will be here, the gate has, yeah, to change it, the gate has been, yeah, being closed, optional here by me, for example. Okay, has been being before closed. Before closed, we have been being, B-E-I-N-G. By me. So this is present perfect passive. So if we want also the present continuous, we have I am closing the gate. I am, so down a little bit. I am closing for present continuous. I am closing the gate, subject. Verb to be, I'm closing the gate. The passive will be the gate is being closed by me. The gate is being closed by me. For any I'm not sure that there's some difference, but each tense in English changed to passive. So for example, present simple, we have passive of present simple as well. Past simple also we have passive. So as well we have present perfect, we have passive, present continuous, we have passive as well. That's it, Mr. Khalfan.
إذن هذا كان أيضا يعني تذكير بالنسبة للسؤال اللي طرحته هاجر عن طريق الاتصال. ناخذ اتصال معنا. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
يا مرحبا وسهلا، من معنا؟
نصرة.
نصرة، كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله.
كيفك مع الامتحانات؟ تمام؟
تمام الحمد لله.
الحمد لله. نصرة A or B؟
إيه.
A. تفضلي أستاذة فاطمة.
Hi Nasra, how are you?
I am fine.
Are you ready for tomorrow exam?
Yes.
Why are you sleeping?
I'm not sleeping.
You are quiet somehow, right?
Yes.
So what's your question?
I have one question.
Okay.
How I used to. I don't understand that grammar about it.
Now you have your books with you, Nasra?
No.
You don't have the books? These books. This book, do you have it with you?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I told you you are sleeping. So now,
Be active, huh?
now Nasra, can you go to page 109? 109?
Yes.
Okay. In 109 you have here, first of all, the meaning of used with the infinitive, so the general meaning of it. Then you have then after that a table. Under the table, if you can see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Let's look. Can you read the first one? Can you read it for me? Nasra? Can you read the example that you have here? Hello, Nasra, are you there? I hear just the sound of the book,
No,
but I don't hear anything. Okay, Nasra, the first one, if you can see, number 1, used plus infinitive refers to past habit or condition, as I said in the last episode. So it has a relationship with actions or habits that people used to do in the past. Okay, like for example, which has stopped or changed. Sometimes we used to do things in the past, but now we don't do them. Like for example, I used to have a cat. So whoever hears this sentence from me, I used to have a cat, will immediately feel that it was my habit keeping a cat with me, but now I don't have it anymore. Number 2, used plus infinitive always refers to past, never the present or future. So they never refers to present or future. They can refer to past things. Like for example, number 3, used plus infinitive shows a contrast between the past and the present. So when people sometimes used to plus the infinitive, they want us to know that there is a difference now or contrast between what we used to have in the past and now. Like I used to study economics, but now I study mathematics. So used to, it means in the past it was like action I did, but not anymore, not now. Then a specific date is not mentioned in the same clause. It means what? If I want to use used to plus infinitive, I can't do it like I do it with the past. For example, with the past simple, what can I say? I can say the following, like like for example, here we have lived in Muscat in, like for example, 2011. So here we can use the date in past simple sentences like this one. But with used to, it's going to be different. How? Like for example, I can say I used to live in Muscat. Then I have here to put full stop. After that, I can mention the date, writing it was, then here we write, for example, 2011. So never ever use date with used to and infinitive in the same sentence. You have to put a full stop, then start another sentence writing the date in it. So if you can go here to the book, page 109, I think that you will get it clearly. So generally, used to and infinitive, I don't know why some of Omani students, they don't get it. Although we have the same thing in Arabic also regarding used to plus infinitive. It means that actions or habits we did in the past, okay? And we are talking about them now. We are describing them now. We are telling people now. For example, I used to cook cake. So this is a habit. I did it in the past, okay? So the most important thing is that you have to know that after to, the verb has to be infinitive. What does mean by infinitive? Infinitive means basic form of the verb. Basic form of the verb means this verb has to come with no S, no ED, no ING is attached to this type of verb. I hope that she got the answer.
ناخذ اتصال. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
يا مرحبا وسهلا، من معنا؟
عندك عبد العزيز النعمري.
حياك يا عبد العزيز، شو اخبارك؟
الحمد لله طيب.
كيفك مع المذاكرة؟ تمام؟
والله تمام خير.
يلا كذا تشد حيلك ان شاء الله في الامتحانات الجاية عبد العزيز. A or B؟
B.
B. استاذ سعيد تفضل.
Hello Abdul Aziz.
Hello teacher.
How are you?
Fine.
How are exams so far?
Nice.
Oh, nice. So what's your question, Abdul Aziz?
The question, I want from you some techniques to solve or know the solution in the reading 1 and 3.
You need some techniques to answer questions of reading.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Because the quiz have some which
Uh-huh.
Because that I want some techniques.
Yeah, I got it. I got the question. I got the questions. What else do you have, Abdulaziz? Any other questions?
In the reading 1 and 3, some techniques to solve.
Yes. Yes, Abdulaziz. For example, this is reading 1 from the. Yeah, you have 7 items and you have a box from A to I. This one reading 1, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, Abdulaziz, look. While you are reading, so the first technique you need to read from number 1 to 7. So try to read them all and then move to read from A to I. Just have a look and read them. If we got the example number 1, I am thinking of studying drama at university. I've always wanted to be an actor. So something related to actors, drama, or whatever. So you need to match number 1 with the suitable item here from A to I. If we read, for example, letter A, they told me they're playing with this has bad effect on teenager. Do you think letter A is suitable for number 1? Abdulaziz?
Yes.
Do you think letter A is suitable one for number 1? This one talking about playing with these, with teenager, and this one drama. So I don't think that it's the correct one for number 1. If we move to letter D, when I was young, my parents often used to take me to the theater. So look, the connection between 1 and D. In number 1, you have drama, actor. And letter D, you have theater. The connection between 1 and D is the word theater. Do you understand? So try to read and focus on keywords sometimes will be helpful for you. For reading number 3, of course, this is such a long reading, very long one, and you have some kinds of questions. Advice to students to please read the questions first. When you read, try to underline the keywords, then go back to the reading text, try to read them, try to read the text, and underline the keywords. If you try to remember the questions and try to focus on the answers here as well, just to save time. This is one of the techniques will be helpful. For example, also, if we come to the question, what was Amelia Earth's first job? So while you are reading the text, try to focus on the job itself. Wherever you find the word job, try to underline it. And this is as well helpful for you, Abdulaziz. Is it helpful, Abdulaziz?
Yes, thank you.
Any
شكراً
questions? No.
Yes.
Thank you.
شكرا لك عبد العزيز وموفق إن شاء الله. ناخذ سؤال عبر الفيسبوك من الطالبة ريم الخروصي. She asked about since and for when we use them.
Yeah, Miss Fatma, she can answer this.
Okay, we explained this again last time, but we can explain it again now. Let's look at since and for. For, first of all, and since. When do we use them? We use them with perfect, like for example, the present perfect, past perfect. We used to have them like for and since. Now let's see examples that we can use, for example, the word for with. We can use the word for if we have duration of time. Okay, this duration of time, it can be counted by minutes, by hours, by years, by months, and so on. Like for example, I have been here, then we have here dash, then we have here a long time, for example. So here we can use for. For we use it with a long time. What else we can use for with? We can use it for a long time. We can also use for, like for example, 2 hours. We can use it for 3 minutes. We can also say for, like for example, 5 years, for 5 months, and so on. So we can use the word here for with duration of time. This duration of time will be, we can use it for example for a long time, for 2 hours, 3 minutes, 5 years, 5 months, 5 days, 5 weeks, and so on. The other thing, if we just look at the other thing, which is like for example since. Since we can use it with specific time. What do we mean by specific time? Like for example, we can say since 2013. So here we have a year. Since we have a certain year, or for example 1990, or for example 1970. So here we use the word since. Another thing with since, we can also use it with event. What do you mean by event? Since with event, the event can be like the following. Like for example, since I was in, for example, Atika school. So here we have since, then here this is an event. Or for example, since I was a child. Or for example, since my brother birthday party. Or we can say for example, since my sister's wedding. So these we call them events. So if we have events, we use since. If we have a specific time, like specific year, like this one, we use since. If we have a specific time, like for example 2 o'clock, we use here since. Since 2 o'clock, but for 2 hours. So here you have to be careful with this. This is time. So if it is a time, we use with it since 2 o'clock, since for example 12 o'clock, 1 for example o'clock, and so on. And also with the year. If we just come here, remind you with for we use it for example for a long time, for 2 hours, for 3 minutes, for 5 years, for 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days, and so on. So that's it.
أتمنى تكون واضحة الإجابة. أيضا عندنا سؤال بالبريد الإلكتروني من الطالبة ضحية. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. لدي مشكلة وأتمنى من الأستاذة أن تدلي برأيها حول المشكلة هذه. كثيرا ما أستهلك وقت في حل أسئلة الريدينج مما يؤثر ذلك في حل الأسئلة الأخرى كالفوكابولاري والجرامر، فما هي الآلية المناسبة في حل أسئلة الريدينج؟
Okay. Now, first of all, talking about reading a question, we have already talked about this issue for a long time, for many years. We talk about it. Reading is a skill, and this skill cannot be just mastered over a night. It means that this skill needs practice. So as much as you have, for example, practiced answering reading questions like comprehension question, WH question, matching questions, you will be able to answer it in, let's say, a short period of time in the examination. So now that the exam is tomorrow, so we can give you like a quick solution for you. But when you go to university or college, I think that again you will face this thing. So you have to train yourself on practice, first of all. Number two, since the exam is tomorrow, I advise you in the exam, if you feel that you are excellent in grammar and vocabulary and you know the answers quickly, so start first of all with it. Start with answering the vocabulary question and also the grammar question if you feel that you have the answers, so that you will not miss them. You will just go to the grammar and vocabulary, answer the question, get rid of them, and then you will focus more on the reading. With the reading, number one, you can do, don't read the whole text then go to the questions. No, you have to do it the other way. It means what? First of all, read the question, try to understand the question, look at the keywords in the question, like for example, what does this question have? First of all, is it WH question? If it is WH question, do you have why, you, for example, what, where, how much, how many, and so on. So here you will have an idea about what is the answer you are looking for. So read the question carefully, then go to the reading text and try to find out the answer from the reading text. Take the keywords in the question and go to the exact paragraph. I'm sure that for example, first 2 or 3 questions, you will need to start from the beginning. But then if you focus while reading, it means that you will immediately go to the text itself that has that answer. So this is number one. Number two, if you have any difficult word or a new word that you feel that you don't know the meaning, don't, for example, panic in the exam. Don't feel that you are in a disaster or in a horrible situation and you will not be able to answer all the questions. I'm sure if you can answer, for example, 9 questions out of 10, it's better than just stopping in one question and feeling that it is a disaster not being able to answer this item. So try to get the meaning of the words. I mean, try to, when you answer the reading question, look at the whole text as one package. Don't look at the words separately, because if you look at each word separately, you will not get a meaning. If you want to get a meaning, you have to read a whole sentence or 2 or 3 sentences, get the idea from them, and then finally write the answers. I hope that this solution can help you. I don't know if Mr. Saeed wants to say something about it.
I've already said these kind of things for Abdul Aziz for kinds of reading. As Ms. Fatma has already said, reading skill doesn't come in the night before the reading itself. So you need to carry on before exams. We are talking about a little bit time before exams. Try to practice reading as much as possible. One more thing, if you face or encounter some difficult words, try to underline them and try to go beyond them. Don't stop on the difficult words. If the word itself has been repeated so many times, here you need to think. And one of the things that you don't have the time to look for dictionary, or it's impossible in exam to look in dictionary. You need to guess the meaning from the context itself and carry on. Also, some kinds of keywords, as I insist on you students to underline keywords and try to read the text and also underline the same keywords from the question itself. I hope these kind of things are helpful for you guys.
أيضا سؤال عبر صفحة الفيسبوك من الطالبة ريم الزجالي. هل ممكن كتابة بعض الكلمات لما نكتب رسالة نكتبهن بالاختصار؟ هل بيحاسبونا إذا كتبنا باختصار like CV اللي هي كيركلم؟ يعني ممكن يكتبوا بالاختصار like CV TV or something like that.
TV, I hope that they write television immediately.
Yeah.
I mean, because they are writing here for academic writing. Academic writing is different than, for example, the language you use in academic writing. It also has to be academic. It's different than, for example, colloquial language or street language and so on, or movie language that we sometimes find in the exam paper of some students. So try to write in formal language and also try to write the word, I mean, fully. Like, for example, television, I think that this is easy word for grade 5 or grade 6 student can write it. So why should you write here TV? Try to write the whole word correctly. You are now in grade 12. With CV, if you write it like CV, I think it will be accepted. But if you want to write the full form, if you know it and you know the spelling of it, of the full word, like for example, student A, English A, they have the full word of this word and they have also studied about it. So why not writing it also fully? So this is my advice for you. And we want you also to avoid using movie language or film language in the exam paper. Try to avoid using such, for example, such bad words also in the writing.
أيضا سؤال من الفيسبوك من الطالب علي الجابري. He is asking about the listening questions. They need, I think, some advice about the listening.
Ali, for the advices in listening, we have already also talked about this one last time. When you receive the exam paper, try to have a look on the listening questions. The 3 questions.
How many listening questions?
3 listening. Yeah, it's supposed to be listening 1 and 2, and listening 2 has 2 parts as well. So you need to focus on the listening. Try to read them before the teacher is coming with the tape recorder. So try to read them, the same advice in reading. Underline the keywords. So try to focus on the keywords. So for example, while you are reading the question, try to know what's the question mean itself. What's the possible answer you think? If it's talking about a place or a country, for example, while the tape recorder is still open, yeah, guys, try to focus on what's gonna hear. For example, if it's the name of the country, try to know the name of the country from the record itself. So try to read before the teacher is coming, underline the keywords, try to understand what the task is being. While the tape recorder is turning on, the first time you hear, the second time you answer, and the third time don't miss it. Try to check your answer. And also sometimes answers are coming together in such a fast way, so you need to remember the answers. So for example, in number 1, try to remember what's the answer for number, for example, 2 and number 3. You don't have to write everything, for example, at first. So at the second time while you are hearing the tape recorder, try to write the full sentence. If you can't write the full, you can memorize some and write some, which help you as well.
Before we end the session, are there any advice you want to say for the students in brief?
I can say, yeah, they can just think of the exam tomorrow, and I'm not sure if it's a little bit late, but students should practice reading, writing, try to spell the words, yeah, try to practice writing the vocabulary itself, and be prepared for tomorrow, and wish you all the best, students.
What about you, Ms. Fatma?
The same advice, especially students who feel that they have like difficulty in answering reading a question. Still you have some hours till tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, so now you can sit, try to print questions, exam papers from the Zawiyati there in the portal, MOE portal and try to find out some examples of reading a question. Sit with yourself and start using your pen or pencil and start to find out the answer, because this will help you. I'm sure that even if you do little practice, it's going to help you also tomorrow. So please don't miss it, and I wish them inshallah, all of them, the students in the Sultanate of Oman, to have like easy English exam. As they said, and semester number 1, the exam students, they were somehow happy about the exam. I'm sure that inshallah tomorrow you will have like easy examination, and just focus while you are answering. Don't panic, don't rush, and special regards for my students in Seyman Muqazzah School. Please, I want you to focus and answer the examination very well. I wish you all the best.
بهذا نكون قد وصلنا لنهاية حلقة اليوم من برنامج درس على الهواء. نتمنى لكم امتحان موفق إن شاء الله يوم الغد. الشكر الجزيل لضيوفي الأستاذة سعيد بن محمد العمري معلم لغة إنجليزية. شكرا لك أستاذ سعيد. والأستاذة فاطمة بنت عبد الله البريكية معلمة لغة إنجليزية. شكرا لك أستاذة فاطمة. حلقة الغد ستكون مخصصة لمادة العلوم والبيئة. امتحان الغد مادة اللغة الإنجليزية. أتمنى لكم أداء موفق إن شاء الله. نلتقي بكم يوم الغد ودرس على الهواء العلوم والبيئة. هذه تحياتي، تحيات فريق العمل، وتحيات مخرج البرنامج الزميل بدر العميري. إلى اللقاء.